Okay. Sam, for some reason, you are right there, but that is fine. It can be all about Sam. There, that's better. Okay, reports, 2 lots. Preferred customer genealogy, so exciting, and the downline growth report. So I just wanted to run through the preferred customer genealogy first. I'm just going to do it this way. If you've got it printed out in front of you, it's really, really important that we know these back to front. It's simple to read, but if anyone's got any questions, just pop them in the comments and we can go through it. But basically what I do is on the second day of the month, because that's when it updates with the VO, I print off a preferred customer genealogy report and a downline growth report. And I will keep printing them out on the 2nd, on the 5th. I will then print it out maybe on the 15th, and then the 20th, and then every day thereafter for the rest of the month. And obviously, as your business grows, you're going to have a lot more content in there, but it's great to get started on it in the early days so then you actually can see what's happening. And I think for most women, we don't like to look at reports because we usually don't like to look too deep into our money and to our finances. And that's what this is. This is your finances. This is your bank account. So you need to be all over it. So with the preferred customer genealogy report, the key things that you're going to be looking for is what I recommend to everyone is when you pop in an order, you just pop in like a premium as one order and a megas as one order and a shakes as one order, because that way you can read it really, really easily on the report as well. And when they have bonuses, it helps for your 5 to 1. So when you go onto the report, the first thing you should be looking at is, obviously you can see it's under each name. So you've got a certain section there for your own name, and then each of your teamies underneath that will have their details. The really, really important part is the dates of the orders. So the way the dates are set up is, say for example, on my report, I've got here, I don't know if you can see, you can't really see it, but it says 11/25/19, which means that the customer's reshipment date is the 25th of November. So if I'm coming into the new month, I'm looking at every single person that has a reshipment due in September. So 09 will be at the front, and I'm highlighting them right at the start of the month so that I can see, okay, these are the customers we need to love on, because if we don't love on them and they cancel, then we've just lost customers. So that's really, really important to do that like the beginning of every month and keep on top of that. And then obviously for reshipments for the following months, if you're trying to work out a certain amount of money you want to run through your business, or you're sort of looking at earning a particular amount, this report is great for doing that, because really you could look at it and say, okay, based on my current customers, I'm going to be earning $500 this month due to their reshipments. So all of the financial answers are in this report, and more so in the downline growth report, which I will run through next. But basically how it works is the key areas in your preferred customer genealogy are the dates. So the date for the reshipment, if they've got like a no date in there, it says none. Usually it means it's about to be shipped out. So usually it'll say that basically on the day. Then we have the ARO status, and you're always going to be running these reports and looking for Ds, because if you see Ds, it means declined, and it means we don't get paid. So we want to make sure we have no declines, and if there are declines, we're sending messages out to the person just saying, oh, like, have you updated your credit card, or have you transferred money across, making a little joke sometimes in case you feel a little bit uncomfortable about the whole bringing up money thing. So we always want to make sure that all says A, and obviously what happens is if anyone cancels it, it's going to show up as a C on your report. So the cancelled ones will stay on there for about 3 to 4 months before they drop off, which is a little annoying because sometimes they can fill up your report a little bit. The next thing is, as I said, the product codes. So the product codes are really important, because if you're going to try to work out a qualification, you need to be able to look at these product codes and work out what that qualification amount will be for either yourself or for your teamies each month. So I'll go into that a little bit more when I go into the other report. But does anyone have any questions about the preferred customer genealogy? Yeah, no? Easy?
if we have a decline, we don't get paid on it, and then the payment goes through, say, like next month.
Yeah.
Will we get paid when the payment goes through?
Yeah, for the following month. Yeah.
Yeah. So you just don't get paid until it's paid.
Yeah. And when it comes to like qualification as well, and this is like, it gets a little bit tricky, is that if you're trying to work out, like if you're SDVF and above and you're trying to work out your pay line or qualification amount, if they were declined in the previous month and then they get the next month, and that's the month. Say, for example, someone declined in August and they've paid then on the 1st of September, it's not going to show up in our reports as going towards a qualification amount or a pay line amount. And that's because it technically goes back to last month, even though it counts for you for this month. So, but it will show when you log into your VO and you go to that KPI box on the, I'm terrible at my lefts and rights, like it's ridiculous. I'm like dyslexic. On your left side and you go to your VO section, it's going to tell you, like if you click that and you click the second box, it's going to tell you all the credit card details that have gone through under your business for all teamies up to SDVF. So that will help you with qualification when you get to that stage. So for me, the preferred customer genealogy is the easy part, and I think most people see it's the easy part. The key things, as I said, to remember is print it on like the second day of the month and see what reshipments you have coming up that month and love on those people. Check the declines, make sure nobody's declined, and we'll come back to it when we do qualification. Yeah, all good? Yeah? Okay, now the fun one. So for the preferred customer genealogy report, you're going to be using this report to find out your teamie's promotions. So for any type of promotions you're going to be using this for, to find out your qualification and to find out your pay line. And this is like deep in your bank accounts. This is like working out all the bills you've got to pay, all the money that's coming in, like everything is in here. So to master this is like the best skill. On the front page here, I've just printed out mine from last month as well. So on the front page here, it says the personal volume credit. So that's the amount that's gone through your business for that month. And the performance bonus is also the same too. It might just include an extra teamie. I wouldn't be worrying about that. Just focus on what's on the top bit. Then there's the excess amount, and the excess amount is what's sitting in the bank for you. So obviously once you're qualified, you need 1,800 PV to run through your business every single month. Anything above that goes into the bank. And this printing this out, having a look at this will just be a really quick and easy way to check if you're qualified for that month. It then goes on to a POB. And you don't need to worry about POB until you're an SC and above and your personal business is earning $5,000 and above. And if it's not earning that, then you're not going to have access to the POB. Sound like a mathematician. This is all interesting. Okay, so
is that a 2% bonus?
That's 2%. So qualifications 2%, POB is 2%. So that's 4% all up that you'll access. So say, for example, on my reports, I don't get access to Sam up there because Sam's SC and above and she's got a $5,000 POB leg herself. So I only see what's coming out from my end for my team that aren't SC, POB and above. So when you get onto this next page, this will then break down, it will have your name and it will have your qualification details in there. So you basically have a look at this report and the first part will tell you, if you're looking at the new one, it will say August PBQ, and that's the amount that's running through your business as at today's date. So if you ran one from last month, which is what I always recommend doing if you're trying to work out qualification, run it on the 1st or the 2nd of the new month, and it will tell you what that person had as their qualification amount for the previous month. Right, and this is how I personally work out qualification. I look at that top figure and say, for example, so sitting there, if you can see it, the August bit there for me, it says 2556, right? So I go, okay, 2556, and then I will go, okay, I should be qualified, all good for this month. Then I will go back to this report and I will go, okay, have I got any reshipments that are due that could potentially affect my qualification? Because obviously if someone cancels, then that amount that was there from last month's not going to be the same as what it would be this month. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay, so that's kind of how I look at it. So I can basically assume, for example, if you've just got your own, you are your own team, you've got like 1 or 2 teamies, you can just assume that if you've got 1900 in your PBQ for the previous month, that you're going to be the same this month, as long as you don't have any declines or cancelled orders. And then any new orders are obviously going to benefit that. So that's the key one to look at. And then obviously there'll be a part there which says the previous month's PB, and that will be your excess amount that's sitting in the bank. So that's an amount, if for some reason your qualification amount for August was like 1,600, then you can use what's left over in the bank towards that. And then when the bank runs dry, you're stuffed. No, you have to get obviously new customers and new team. So how do we work out, I might do promotions first and then work into qualification a little bit more. So when I go onto these reports, I go to my first teamie. So on my report, it's got Sam. So I can have a look at when Sam actually started the business, because on the column on the right-hand side, it'll be the date that they started. So I'll go, okay, she started on the 30th of May, 2018. But say if I have a more recent teamie that's recently joined, I will have a look at one, for example. Like Taylor, I look at hers and it says SDVF and it says September, sorry, the 9th of July 19. So I have a look at that, and if I want to work out, okay, she's got 5 SC, I can then pop that date in there next to it. If I have a new teamie who's just, I can go, okay, she's a DVF, and so this is the date she started. What date will she have to hit SDVF? I'm not sure how to. I think someone, it might be your phone, Shay, is mute. Sorry. Okay, it's all good. So does anyone currently use those dates to work out? No? So at the beginning of the month, I'm looking at those dates going, what promotions? And you're going to find DVFs, you're going to find DVFs, you're going to find potential SDVFs, you're going to see SCs, and you need to be all over those dates all the time, because you want to know exactly where your team is at all the time. And that's how you can keep on top of things, because people love doing this business, but they might not look at it as a full-time gig like most of us do. So they kind of, that's kind of their bottom priority. They just want to focus on like doing some social media stuff and attracting people. And that's all we should be, having them do at the early stages. It's great to know the reports. Definitely by SDVF, you should sort of get to understand them. But as a leader in the team, that's your responsibility as well, obviously, to make sure you keep everyone on track and so they're reaching all their goals. So what I do when I run the report is, if I've got people that are like haven't really been too active in the business, I will go on this and go, okay, there's a potential for a restart for them. I want to see where they're at. And then I will send a message at the beginning of the month saying, look, there's a potential for you to restart. Or, you've got a promotion that's available to you at the end of the month. It would mean an extra, whatever it is, on the table for them. Like say if it was SDVF, it would be $400. Plus obviously your commission. Is that something that you'd love to do? And there's particular verbiage that I'll pop through in the leadership guide, which I am finishing. But when you get there in, then you've got the dates. You've got everything here. And in this report, you've got the points as well. So once I've got my date set, I then go back to their points amount and I go, okay, what's their promo PV? So under the bracket 1, promo PV, that is exactly the points amount that they have in their business. So that's really easy to read if they have just started the business and they're not doing a restart. If they're doing a restart, then you have to manually calculate their promo points from the date of their restart, which again is then going back to this report, the preferred customer genealogy. So you're going to go back, if someone's doing a restart, say from like 30 days ago, you're going to go back onto this report and you're going to go to the dates column and you're going to look for all dates 30 days before. And then you're just going to highlight all of them and manually calculate points. So when you've got them all separated as a premium and an omegas and a complete powder, then what you can do is you can go, okay, there's a premium there, 371. There is an omegas, 181. And that's really easy then to calculate where they're at. And I'll usually just have like just one report that I'll kind of have them sitting there for the month. And then I'll have it scribbled all over, and then I'll probably update it, as I've said, in those other dates, like the 20th and then each day of the month. And now I have my giant whiteboard. I will pop it on there to keep on top of it. So at start of every month, that's what you're doing. You're printing out this report and you're like, where is a promotion? Who could potentially make money in this business? Who can I help? So that's like the most important thing for this at the beginning of the month. The other thing in this is Payline. So if you've got team who are going for promotions or you're going for your own promotions, you need to know Payline, which is different to your promotional points. So Payline is basically, I think most of you should know this, but the Payline is just the points amount divided by 4, unless they're paying upfront or they're paying by those 2 monthly installments. So the Payline is going to be, rather than 371 for the premium, it's 92.75. And that's how you're going to get your amount. So when you go and have a look at your report, underneath each of your teamies and their teamies is going to be the subtotal paid. And that's where they're sitting at. That's their Payline. So say, for example, I've got one teamie here. Her Payline is, subtotal is 1677. So I can't just look at that and assume, oh, because she's SDVF, she can qualify. That'll be great for her. I need to look at each teamie underneath her and I go, okay, one's an SDVF. Oh, okay, so that means because she's got an SDVF under her, whatever this teamie has doesn't count for her qualification. Does that make sense? When I say this out loud, even I'm like, this sounds like another language.
So would you minus off the other teamie's numbers off the top teamie?
Yeah, so I just look, well, the top teamie's numbers actually is already calculated that. So the top teamie is going to have their amount, not including any SDVF and underneath. But sometimes people just jump on and have a look to subtotal paid and look at that and go, oh, okay, I get it, when that's not right. And then for the second teamie that's underneath them, so say, for example, there was you, Sam, then there was Shay underneath, and then there'd be all of Shay's teamies underneath that. Sometimes you'll look at Shay's and be like, oh, okay, so that's everyone underneath her. But again, it's not. It's split down and it's split down. And Shay's total, though, will include everybody under SDVF and in her name. So that number's always right. And if there's a little number underneath that, so sometimes there's a number directly underneath it before the next thing, that's their declines. So that's saying, okay, say, for example, in my report, it's saying this person's got 138 PV in declines that we need to follow up. So when I look at that, okay, they've got declines, so I go back to this report. So when I'm back on this report, I then just go through and obviously check for Ds and go, okay, that's declined. And then I'll go to that teamie and just say, hey, just running through the reports, and I can see that you've got a couple of declines. This may affect your qualification or whatever it is. Do you want to follow them up? So what then happens is in your report, when you go to the final page, and this is just for Australia, sorry. Oh no, it includes New Zealand for the downline grade. So it's Australia and New Zealand. There'll be a total paid right on the bottom, and the total paid is your total pay line. So that's for absolutely everyone. And then there'll be a total unpaid, and that's going to be the declines through your business. So that's everyone's declines, and that should be calculated to be the exact same amount that's under those other numbers, or that person's name, and they've got their qualification amount, and then there's a little number underneath. That's the total of all of that. Now, the thing is, like, as you get towards the end of the month, and if you're like Sam and like to, and me, and like to do everything end of the month, the reports don't update properly. So sometimes it can take like 24 hours or 48 hours even for them to update to the right amount. They're generally pretty good. They'll generally update at 10:30 in the morning, and I think it's 5 o'clock or 2:30. One or the other. And that's when I will always run the reports after that, especially if I've got a promotion and it's timeline based. I'm like running the reports, twice a day and doing extra running of the reports to see if like I've missed something. So what was I going to say then? Okay. So if you're going for a promotion and you've got a certain pay line that's through everybody, a really great thing that you could do is at the beginning of the month, you print out your report that you had from last month, so that you print out on the 2nd and you go, okay, so the total amount that's run through my business is whatever that number is. You can then go back into your reports and go and have a look at all the reshipments. See, like I've highlighted these in green, and I've already messaged the teamies about their reshipments coming up and getting them to follow up. I will go through that and go, okay, so there's potentially $2,000 that could drop off my business this month. So I need to keep on top of that, because if I'm going to get that number to grow, I need to keep most of these people in here and jump my pay line. So the stats are 60 customers makes your pay line go up by $4,000, and 120 customers makes your pay line go up for $8,000. So if you've got a pay line issue and you're like, okay, I'm going for SSC, for example, and you need to have a pay line of 9,000, you can look at that and go, okay, where am I at? Use those figures of 60 customers is 4,000, work out what you need, and that'll give you the answer of exactly how many customers you need to get this done. And a great way of looking at it is that customer details is average. That customer detail is the average. So it's the average of like the berries, the omegas, the completes, like all of that averaged out. So the way I like to look at this is, rather than just going, okay, I need 50,000 premiums, I do the health overhaul package. So the health overhaul package is 245 PV. So if you needed, I don't know, like if you needed 1,000 PV, that's 4 health overhaul packages and you're done, and 1 of anything else, 2 of anything else, or something paid outright, I don't know. So it's easy to work out that way, because I feel like if we say, oh, you only need 60 premiums and then you're done, that's hard. That's an effort. But to say it's only like a few health overhaul packages, it makes it so much easier. I think that's kind of really it. Like, I am always looking at my reports. Everything I need is on here. And I mean, I've recently started my whole whiteboard thing, but you can just go onto a pen and paper and go, okay, I'm going for a promotion. Say if you're going for SC and you need 12,000 points and you're trying to work out how many extra orders and stuff that you need, then the health overhaul package is 980 points. So work out how many of those you need across your team. Easy. And that all comes from this downline growth report and cross-referencing it with this. And there's all these other reports that you can get in the VO, but you don't need to worry about them. I've only ever looked at these 2. It's all you need. And if you've got international, that's where it can get a little bit more tricky, is because on the pages after the first 2 or 3, that's where the international stuff comes in. But again, this front page here, so that front page on your downline growth report, that usually includes the international stuff as well. It can be a little bit variable, like with exchange rates and stuff, but that's generally overall what your figures are sitting at. So did anyone just love learning about maths and learning about reports? Yes. You're good with multiple charges. What do you mean, Tash? You said, does anyone have complaint about?
So have you ever had a customer? So, like if let's say a customer is ordering 3 different items or 4 different items, do they ever like question the 4 different charges to their credit card rather than it all being charged in one go?
No, because they wouldn't have a clue that we could do it otherwise, I guess. No, I've never had anybody.
Oh.
And I think it's really cool. Like if anyone ever said anything to me, I'd say it's a really, really great option, because it means if you wanted to delay a shipment of one thing, for example, or if you wanted to pay something up front, because I have some people that message me and say, I actually want to just pay one particular product a little bit earlier, which I'm not sure why.
I suppose it probably works now that they're building and shipping too. See, I would never have done it before because obviously shipping was charged on top of each individual order. So,
and now it's all covered. And I feel like it's just such a great way to keep on top of the numbers, because if you're doing that whole customer thing, like, okay, you need to have 120 customers for $8,000 to go up. If people are just putting bulk and putting everything in one, like it looks like one customer when really it's the equivalent of like 3. So I think it's really good for your maths as well, just to make it easy. And obviously, like if I'm doing qualification for people and if I'm working out, you know, what they need to get done to get qualified, and I'm going off their last month's report, downline growth report, and then I'm cross-referencing it with this, those codes that are on the end, like Omega Trial, technically, sometimes premium goes in there and it's still described as Omega Trial. And so if I'm trying to work out, okay, they've got to get qualified, Omegas are 45.25, and I'm trying to work out, does that include a premium? You can ring head office and they still can't really confirm it on that report. So there's another report Crystal showed me how to do, and it's such an effort. She's like, so we just go to the person and be like, do you remember what they ordered? Because it's locked from me to have a look at their personal account.
That's why that PC, no, not PC, hang on, I'll tell you what it is. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. That's why they're trying to get this report from Jenny put into the system. It's called, so that we can all run it rather than having to email head office. It's called a PC genealogy.
Yeah.
And what that gives you is every order, it will give you the points. So it'll say 92.75, 76.50. So you know that that's choose rather than having to go by the codes. Because I've been caught out before with exactly that, where it'll say Omega Trial and there was a premium there as well.
But that's why if you're popping them in like separately, you won't have to worry about that, because that's not going to crop up again. So like now on my report, I've only got about three products that are there that are combined. The rest, like all of these are all like individuals, which just makes it so much easier to follow. I'm like, okay, that's really easy. And it's really easy for qualification.
Okay, cool. I'll do that going forward.
Does anyone else have any questions about anything? Yes, no, maybe. And the other thing that I wanted to say on this too, since they've cut off the 40-minute thing, is like, I also go through at the beginning of the month and be like, okay, who can we get onto all the products? Like, have they been on berries for a while? Why aren't they on fruit and veg? And it's usually from people that, like, when we were less experienced and we'd had to talk to them and we're kind of like, oh, can you afford it? And circumstances change. And now I think most of us are so much more confident with what we're doing. Like, everyone I'm speaking to now are jumping on the health overhaul package, whereas before they were jumping on the premium and maybe the omegas, or, you know, because now I'm so confident in what it is that we have and the value that there is. So to go back to all of those people and, you know, see how they're going, see where they're at, you know, this report is like everything for that. So that's a great little tool too. So basically, all your business strategies, working out promotions, working out how much money you're going to earn each month, how much you can potentially earn, especially like bonus money's gone up so much now too. Like SSC is $2,000 plus all the other money that you're going to get. So I think on average when you hit SSC, you generally get about $3,000 to $3,500. And you're going to up that by another 800. So the potentially could be like 4,000 and something you're going to get in your bank account. And you can do that easily with these reports. So you can see everybody. Natasha's getting her SSC done this month. Shane and Kylie are getting theirs done next month. It's going to be Sam did hers in two and a half weeks. What's your excuse, Tash?
I'm gonna have to get some advice from Sam, because I got a couple of things that need to happen. So
Sam went out on time. All right. Well, I thought we might also do like maybe later on in the week or next week, we just do a little Instagram training on like approaches and strategies to get all the team under the sun through Instagram, because it works. Instagram's so good. Stuff Facebook. I'm over Facebook. I don't like it. Instagram is the way to go. Okay. All good. Yeah.
When are you going to do that, Lauren?
I don't know. I thought I was like, I'm even happy to do it like over the weekend or something, because I was kind of like, that'll get everyone moving really quickly. We can move it to like next week and next Thursday, but
No, let's do a blitz next Thursday.
yeah, and we can just do this. I'll just say if anyone wants to jump on and look at different Instagram strategies, because I've actually got a strategies document, and I've got Ali to chuck in a few things too of how to build your business through Instagram. So I want to basically do like a little run through for everybody and then pop in that document so that everyone can sort of figure out how to get some team through Instagram.
I'd love to do that ASAP.
All right, awesome. Well, I'll pop that in the chat. Cass, you've just jumped on. We are just finishing, but I've recorded it, so I'll send it to you. It's
thank you.
Reports.
Thank you.
If you want to join us later in the week, we're going to do like an Instagram strategies, how to build your business through Instagram.
Amazing.
There we go. All right. See you later.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Thanks, Lauren. Thanks, Lauren. You're amazing.
You are.